The Voter Integrity Project, NC, discovered more than 30,000 dead people are registered in this state alone to vote. I'm joined now by the founder of the Voter Integrity Project, NC, Jay Delancey.
A few years ago, I started an organization called Voter Integrity Project in North Carolina with a mission to ensure free and fair elections for our children and grandchildren. Soon the effort attracted computer programmers, paralegals, engineers, auditors, and even one team member with a PhD in database design.
Who are these researchers?
I was living in a devil town. I didn't know it was a devil town. Oh Lord, it really brings me down about the devil town.
We're a group of volunteers concerned about news stories of voter fraud.
Didn't know they were vampires. Turns out I was a vampire myself in the devil town.
Voting twice is something Richardson freely admitted to when asked months ago by 9 on Your Side reporter Tom McKee.
Yes, I voted twice.
Richardson voted illegally 5 times, twice under her name, and she also voted for her sister, who has been in a coma since 2003.
Have you voted before?
Right. I vote every year.
Hanako Danette is not a U.S. citizen, yet the Cape Coral resident is registered to vote.
Do you know that you're not supposed to vote if you're not a U.S. citizen?
But we found her name and nearly 100 others like her in the database of Florida registered voters.
GOP Secretary of State candidate Charlie White admitted serving on the Fishers Town Council after moving out of his district, and also voted in the May primary registered to his ex-wife's home rather than his own condo.
She was a Democratic congressional candidate in Maryland. She admitted she voted twice in Maryland and Florida. And Jay, look what she said. I voted twice. It was an act of civil disobedience in recognition of the millions of legitimate voters who have been illegally prevented from voting or having their votes counted during the past 4 presidential elections. What I did wasn't right, it wasn't smart, but it was one of civil disobedience, not arrogance.
We have volunteers who have moved from states with stricter election laws. They don't understand why North Carolinians haven't had to prove who they are to vote.
If kids didn't have to show an ID to buy booze, they'd never buy beer. Am I right?
Many volunteers have worked the polls and witnessed fraud.
45 to 50 individuals, elderly folks, exited the bus and went into the polling place. Very few people at one time go in to vote, so this is out of the norm. And each one of them was taking a piece of paper out of their pocket and reading their address. So I went up to the chief judge and asked her exactly what was going on here, and she responded that these folks are elderly folks and they might need some help. And I said, well, every single one of them?
I'm here to tell you that voter fraud is alive and well in Halifax County. When someone has trouble remembering their address and starts making guesses as to where they live, that a voter photo ID might even help that poor soul find their way home.
I watched a lady come in to vote 3 times. I pointed her out to the chief judge. The judge looked into it and saw that the lady was trying to vote for a man. When questioned, she replied, "You're trying to deny my neighbor's right to vote."
An elderly woman came up to me. She was accompanied by a young man,
and she asked me if she had to register in every county they went to.
I saw them both reach into their pockets and read off their addresses. When they pulled out their form of identification, both of them happened to be a Progress Energy bill that had never seen the creases of an envelope in their lives.
Why does it take an organization like yours to try to uncover this? The Help America Vote Act is supposed to try and solve all this and prevent any possible problems.
Most states write their laws in a way that is more protective of voter fraud than it is detective.
If policemen didn't patrol for speeding and cameras were not allowed on the roads, how could you prove people were speeding?
You know what else is against the law? Speeding.
Well, yeah, and everyone, right.
Yeah.
Right, so I mean, whatever.
But there's even less enforcement of these laws than there are of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Investigators say all three confessed to voting twice, once during early voting and a second time on Election Day in 2008.
When I went to go to the polling area, I was told that I had already voted, and I was pretty shocked. I wanted to know who I voted for, but I knew they couldn't tell me that. It concerns me a great deal that my vote was taken.
Well, we're a volunteer organization of people who just loan their surplus intellectual capital, if you will, and in something we call mining public data, where we look at the data, we try and just draw inferences from that data to see if we can spot trends. And if we do spot a trend that looks suspicious enough, we report it to the authorities. Anybody could do it.